Exodus 29. Now this is what you shall do to them to consecrate them to serve me as priests. Take 1 young bull and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread, unleavened cake mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers spread with oil. You shall make them of choice wheat flour. You shall put them in 1 basket and bring them in the basket and bring the bull and 2 rams. You shall bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Then you shall take the vestments and put on Aaron the tunic and the robe of the ephod and the breastpiece, and gird him with the decorated bands of ephod. And you shall set the turban on his head and put the holy diadem on the turban. You shall take the anointing oil and pour it on his head and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons and put tunics on them. You shall gird them, Aaron and his sons, with sashes and tie headdresses on them. The priesthood shall be theirs by a perpetual ordinance. You shall then ordain Aaron and his sons. You shall bring the bull in front of the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the bull, and you shall slaughter the bull before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and shall take some of the blood of the bull and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger. And all the rest of the blood you shall pour out at the base of the altar. You shall take all the fat that covers the entrails and the appendages of the liver and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and turn them into smoke on the altar. But the flesh of the bull and its skin and its dung you shall burn with the fire outside of the camp. It is a purification offering. Then you shall take 1 of the rams, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall slaughter the ram and take its blood and dash it against the sides of the altar. Then you shall cut the ram into its parts and wash its entrails and its legs and put them with its parts and its head, and turn the rest of the ram into smoke on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord. You shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall slaughter the ram and take some of its blood and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear, and on the lobes of the right ears of his sons, and on the thumbs of the right hand, and on the big toe of their right feet, and dash the rest of the blood against the sides of the altar. Then you shall take some of the blood that is on the altar and some of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his vestments, and on his son and his son's vestments with him. And he and his vestments shall be holy, as well as his sons and his sons' vestments with him. You shall also take the fat from the ram, the fatty tail, the fat that covers the entrails, the appendages of the liver, the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and the right thigh, for it is the ram of ordination. And 1 loaf of bread, 1 cake of bread made with oil, and 1 wafer out of the basket of unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And you shall place all of these on the palm of Aaron, and on the palm of Aaron, and on the palm of his sons, and raise them as an elevation offering before the Lord. Then you shall take them from their hands and turn them into smoke on the altar on top of the burnt offering for a pleasing odor before the Lord. It is an offering by fire to the Lord. You shall take the breasts of the ram of Aaron's ordination and raise it as an elevation offering before the Lord. It shall be your portion. You shall consecrate the breast that was raised as an elevation offering and the thigh that was lifted up as an offering from the ram of ordination, from that which belonged to Aaron and his sons. These things shall be perpetual ordinance for Aaron and his sons from the Israelites. For this is an offering, and it shall be an offering by the Israelites from their sacrifices of offerings of well-being, their offering to the Lord. The sacred vestments of Aaron shall be passed on to his sons after him. They shall be anointed in them and ordained in them. The son who is a priest in his place shall wear them 7 days when he comes to the tent of meeting, to the minister in the holy place. You shall take the ram of ordination and boil its flesh in a holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket at the entrance of the tent meeting. They shall eat the food by which anointment is made, to ordain and consecrate them, but no one else shall eat of it, because it is holy. If any of the flesh for ordination or of the bread remains until the morning, then you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. Thus you shall do to Aaron and to his sons, just as I have commanded you. Through 7 days you shall ordain them. Also, every day you shall offer a bull as a purification offering for atonement. Also, you shall offer a sin offering for the altar when you make atonement for it, and shall anoint it to consecrate it. 7 days you shall make atonement for the altar and consecrate it, and the altar shall be most holy. Whatever touches the altar shall become holy. Now this is what you shall offer on the altar: 2 lambs a year old, regularly each day. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer in the evening. And with the first lamb, 1/10 of a measure of choice flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of beaten oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine for drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer in the evening, and shall offer with a grain offering and a drink offering, as in the morning, for a pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord. It shall be a regular burnt offering throughout your generations at the entrance of the tent of meetings before the Lord, where I will meet with you to speak to you there. I will meet with the Israelites there, and it shall be sanctified by my glory. I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar. Aaron also and his sons I will consecrate to serve me as a priest. I will dwell among the Israelites, and I will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. Exodus 30. You shall make an altar on which to offer incense. You shall make it of acacia wood. It shall be 1 cubit long and 1 cubit wide. It shall be square and shall be 2 cubits high. its horns shall be of one piece with it. You shall overlay it with pure gold, its top side and its sides all around, and its horns, and you shall make for it a molding of gold all around. And you shall make 2 golden rings for it under its molding on 2 opposite sides of it. You shall make them, and they shall hold the poles for carrying it. You shall make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. You shall place it in front of the curtain that is above the ark of the covenant, in front of the cover that is over the covenant where I will meet with you. Aaron shall offer fragrant incense on it. Every morning when the dresses of the lamp he shall offer. And when Aaron sets up the lamps in the evening, he shall offer it, a regular incense offering before the Lord throughout your generations. You shall not offer an holy incense on it, or a burnt offering, or a grain offering, and you shall not pour drink offering on it. Once a year, Aaron shall perform the rite of atonement on its horns. Throughout your generation, he shall perform the atonement for it once a year with the blood of the atoning purification offering. It is the most holy to the Lord. The Lord spoke to Moses, when you take a census of the Israelites to register them at registration, all of them shall give a ransom for their lives to the Lord, so that no plague may come upon them for being registered. This is what each one who is registered shall give. A half shekel according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The shekel is 20 gerahs. Half a shekel as an offering to the Lord. Each one who is registered from 20 years old and up shall give the Lord offering. The rich shall not give more than the poor, and the poor shall not give less than half shekel. When you bring this offering to the Lord, make atonement for your lives. You shall take the atonement money from the Israelites and shall designate it for the service of the tent meeting before the Lord. It will be a reminder to the Israelites of the ransom given for your lives. The Lord spoke to Moses. You shall make a bronze basin with a bronze stand for washing. You shall put it between the tent of meeting and the altar, and you shall put water in it. With the water, Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet. When they go into the tent of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister, to make an offering by fire to the Lord, they shall wash with water, so that they may not die. They shall wash their hands and their feet, so they shall not die. It shall be a perpetual ordinance for them, for him and for his descendants throughout their generations. The Lord spoke to Moses, take the finest spices of liquid myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet-smelling cinnamon, half as much. That is 250 and 250 aromatic cane, and 500 cassia, measured by the sanctuary shekel, and a hin of olive oil. And you shall make of these sacred anointings oil blended as by the perfumer. It shall be a holy anointing oil. With it you shall anoint the tent of meeting and the ark of the covenant and the table and its utensils and the lampstand and its utensils and the altar of incense and the altar of burnt offering with all of its utensils and the basin with its stand. You shall consecrate them so that they may be most holy. Whatever touches them will become holy. You shall anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them to serve me as priests. You shall say to the Israelites, This shall be my holy anointing oil throughout your generations. It shall not be used in any ordinary anointing of the body, and you shall make no other like it in composition. It is holy, and it shall be holy to you. Whoever blends any like it, or whoever puts any of it on an unqualified person shall be cut off from the people. The Lord said to Moses, take sweet spices, stashte and onycha and galbanum, sweet spices with pure frankincense, an equal part of each, and make an incense blend as by the perfumer, seasoned with salt, pure and holy, and you shall beat some of it into a powder and put part of it before the covenant of the tent meeting, where I shall meet with you. It shall be most holy for you. And when you make incense according to this composition, you shall not make it for yourselves. It shall be regarded by you as holy to the Lord. Whoever makes any like it to use as perfume shall be cut off from the people.